Rowlands.
Can I thank the committee chair for his statement and indeed the honesty of his report. In 2001, the Welsh Government launched its regeneration strategy to South Wales Valleys. Amongst the many initiatives envisaged, the flagship proposal was the Communities First programme. This, as the name suggests, was to be a communities-based set of interventions which were designed to eradicate poverty across what used to be termed the South Wales coalfield. 16 years later, and with £432 million invested in the project, the Welsh Government itself has finally decided that its impact has been negligible. Why? Because the valleys still continue to top the league tables for inequalities of poverty, health and education. Although this project was supposed to be community-driven, government and local authorities controlled the funding. In many instances, the governance boards set up to administer the programmes under the scheme were populated largely by local councillors, which meant many decisions were made with regard to political agendas. Community engagement was thus much diminished. It must be acknowledged that there were instances of good practice and some substantial achievements, particularly with regard to children and young people. But these were patchy and certainly not universal. The overall failure of the Communities First must also be viewed in the context of some £1.2 billion of so-called European funding spent on other valleys initiatives. Strategic part building, joined-up thinking and local action plans were the buzzwords of the time, all compelling rhetoric but short on delivery. Hindsight is, of course, a powerful tool, but there is much about the Communities First project which should have been seen not to be able to deliver the required goals. Perhaps the failures of the scheme could have been avoided by initiating a standalone pilot project to evaluate its possible outcomes, which could then have been rolled out in a more coordinated fashion. The Welsh Government made substantial mistakes in the regeneration strategies, Community First amongst its most prominent. But it is immensely encouraging to see that it appears to have learned from these failures and now seems to be embracing a whole new ideology with regard to eliminating poverty. There seems to be a very real realisation in this Welsh Government that poverty can only be eradicated by a strong industry-based economy. The truth is, only good, well-paid jobs can achieve the goal of poverty eradication, and that is why we in UKIP will support any government strategy to build a strong, resilient industrial economy in the valleys of South Wales.
David.